If you're thinking about buying a home in northeastern Wisconsin, but you're struggling to come up with a down payment, this episode is for you. Today, we've got Adam Cook with Nations Lending, and I'm super excited that he's going to take some time and actually explain some of the down payment assistance programs that are available for buyers in northeastern Wisconsin. Adam, thanks for taking some time.
Hey, thanks for having me, sir.
You're welcome. So let's talk about it. Like, what kind of down payment programs? What does that even mean? Like, for a first-time home buyer who's maybe not familiar with this process, what do they have to have from a down payment perspective to purchase a home?
Yeah, so it really depends on credit score and what type of loan program we're looking to use. But if we're looking at, primary residence purchase, FHA is going to have a 3.5% minimum down payment. From a conventional loan perspective, if they can qualify as under the first-time homebuyer program categories, there are some 3% down programs available. Otherwise, if they're non-first-time home buyers and are kind of over that income limit that exists for some of those programs, then they're going to be looking at a 5% down. But in the average buyer right now, right, they're looking at the market. Prices are high. They're really kind of looking at, okay, like, what are the ways for me to keep some money in my pocket as best as I can? Or how am I going to be competitive in the market when people are writing 20 grand over asking all the time and covering appraisal gaps? Some of the things that we've talked about in some of the previous videos that we've made, and and they're concerned because maybe they can't be competitive, right? I mean, people are maybe not able to get gift funds, or they don't have a 401k that they can dip into to try and create some of that asset availability to be able to write with the appraisal gaps that they would want to. And a good strategy out there is some of these down payment assistance programs, because what that can essentially allow you to do is now use the money that you already do have and use that to be able to write on an appraisal gap, because you are, obviously getting the down payment and maybe a good chunk of your closing costs too covered by some of these down payment assistance grants that are out there.
Yeah, let's talk about that more. You said the word grant. So where do these programs come from? Like, what are they?
Yeah, so a lot of these bond type programs they're coming from some sort of state agency or maybe a national agency. There's a super popular one in the state of Wisconsin called WHEDA. WHEDA. It's the Wisconsin Housing Economic Development Authority. You don't even have to be a first-time home buyer to use their programs. And essentially, you're still using the base conventional or FHA normal loan structure, but then you're getting this assistance coming in as a second lien. And then it's basically going to be based on what your purchase price and loan amount is. That's going to kind of determine how much of that money that you're getting available. But we just got a program where you can get 6% of the purchase price. So if you're using a conventional 3% down first-time home buyer program and you're getting 6% from WHEDA, now you've got 3% still to help cover a bunch of your closing costs for you. It's not going to cover all of them, but you could feasibly purchase a property using WHEDA with maybe only $1,000 out of your pocket. They technically don't have a minimum contribution requirement.
Wow. So, I mean, there's that preconceived notion that you need 20% down. I think you've nipped that right in the butt. There's 3%, 3.5%, 5% down, and WHEDA, if they're willing to do the 6% grant program, they could come in and purchase their first home with maybe as little as $1,000 or maybe even a tiny bit less than that. To get in a home. And then, like you said, you can use that, other down payment, resources to maybe do some things that are a little unconventional, in a dynamic where there's really limited inventory, and that may free up some opportunities for you.
Correct. That's the thing. And again, not even having to be a first-time home buyer to do them is huge. You can also use them to purchase a duplex. Now, if you're doing that conventionally, there's some different requirements, that we'd work through and talk through with the buyer. For FHA, for example, with WHEDA, they're going to want a 640 minimum credit score, and they've got a little bit of a tighter restriction on the debt to income ratio piece of the qualification. But again, it's a great strategy and can really be super useful and powerful for buyers right now.
Yeah, to be able to have a duplex where you owner occupy one half of it and then get rent from the other side. I mean, that just opens up a complete different opportunity for
Yeah.
investing in your future, down the
Right.
road. I remember my
And it's
first
important
property.
for people to understand too, within those, it's not free money, right? Unfortunately, they're going to want to get that money back, right? They're not just going to give it away for nothing. So the way that it operates is it's a second lien or a secondary loan on your property. So the main initial mortgage is the first lien, and the down payment assistance grant is the second lien. So there is going to be a little bit of an extra payment component, but again, if that's what it's going to take in order to get you into this market to be able to put yourself in a competitive position, then why not? Right? If you're still comfortable and if that payment still feels affordable to you, then again, it's a great strategy.
Yeah, and keeping more funds available for a rainy day. Things happen. I mean, I just had a tree poking into my roof today. Like, I mean, there's stuff that happens, and you need to be prepared for that type of stuff. So being able to keep that down payment in your bank account for a rainy day is something that's really important. If you have questions about the mortgage process, or you want to get pre-approved and go through Nations Lending, Adam Cook, we'll have his information here below. I know he's happy to answer any questions. We've got a couple other videos, like he had mentioned, that talk about the market conditions. We talked about the ACE program from Nations Lending, which is a great opportunity to be really prepared for today's housing market. So Adam, I appreciate you taking the time to talk about the down payment assistance programs here in northeastern Wisconsin.
Yep. Thanks, Greg.
You're welcome.